Moving along on project 2. You guys, last week you finished up your history outlines, and I think I've looked at a couple of those maybe, but I'll try to get after those earnestly this week and get you some feedback on those in case there's some things that I think that you ought to take a look at or update or improve or add or subtract in some cases. You got to remember that history, the industry, the strategy, these are, I think, important parts of the paper, but they're relatively small parts of the paper. And so sometimes I might give you that kind of feedback that says, hey, you're going to have to condense this a little bit. So next is going to be the industry that the company competes in. And you'll see I kind of give you some examples, right? I say McDonald's is the quick service. Talk about what companies might be major competitors, right? And what is the company's position in the industry. That might be some of these might be a little bit more difficult to find, right? It might take a little bit of research. And I'm going to warn you that there might be some confusion in some of this. And I'll give you an example. The company that I've been using the whole time here is WD-40 as an example. And so when I typed that in to the Seeking Alpha, which I've kind of recommended, and it's a pretty good site for looking up a lot of, especially the financial information. But I came here and then I came down and looked at peers. Well, peers is probably competitors, right? Maybe. And so I clicked on that. This tells me, it says that WD-40 is in the household products industry. And, I guess that kind of makes sense. I mean, who doesn't have a can of WD-40 in their garage or house or both, or multiple cans, like in my case, okay? But I looked at some of these, competitors or peers, Energizer Holdings. Now that's the little bunny. That's the Energizer battery bunny, and Spectrum. I had to kind of look, and what do? I mean, they make Black & Decker, Russell Hobbs, George Foreman. Yeah, that's not really a competitor to WD-40. So I didn't really like that, and as a result, I went back to a different site. This FINRA is another really good site for looking up information about companies. I've kind of gotten so I like the Seeking Alpha a little bit better, but FINRA is pretty good, and so I clicked on that, and it should bring you right to this page, okay? And so if you type right in here, if you type in your ticker symbol, that should take you to this, right? Okay. And I scroll down just a little bit, and industry. Well, the specialty chemicals industry. That seems to make a little bit more sense. WD-40, yeah, we all know them for the little blue and can with red cap, that we spray to get things moving again. They do a lot of industrial type of lubricants and whatnot too that they sell. Probably similar stuff, but they sell it to other industries, manufacturers, etc. And they sell some other things too. Actually, I think sell some toilet bowl cleaner and a few things like that too. So yeah, the household thing's not necessarily wrong, but I think it's a better fit when it says the specialty chemicals, and that that could be a matter of opinion, and I wouldn't necessarily accuse you of being wrong, but I might put a question mark and say, are you sure? Okay, and in this case, I would say that that's probably a better fit. Now, it doesn't tell me anything on here about who else, who are the competitors. So I just went and I did a Bing search. I use Bing and not Google, but whichever one. You might want to use DuckDuckGo too. That's fine. So it's specialty chemicals industry. Yeah. What are the 10 largest specialty chemical companies? And here they list them, right? We got Lubrizol, Huntsman, Ashland, Chemtura, Rockwood. And I'm not that familiar with a lot of these, okay? But a little bit. I mean, some of these names, they seem to make a little bit more sense, okay, in terms of being competitors of WD-40. Lubrizol, I'm a little bit familiar with because, if I'm not mistaken, that's a company that Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett, purchased, okay? So I'm probably not going to be able to find a lot of information about Lubrizol because it's a subsidiary then of another larger company, okay? But I could take those names then and kind of start taking a look at them, and there's other too, right? I mean, if I scroll down, there's other reports and whatnot that are on here I bet you if I click on those, what is the global specialty chemical market? Oh, it's probably going to give me, an answer to one of those questions that I put on there as a possibility, right? How big is the overall industry? There you go. Okay, so you got to do a little bit of research on this. Okay, again, it's not going to be a lengthy part of your paper. It's going to be a paragraph, maybe a long paragraph. Okay, but get that pertinent information, that kind of stuff that we have on there. And everybody's industry might be a little bit different, so you might find some other stuff. But try to answer those questions. If you got any problems, let me know, and I might be able to help you a little bit with the research. But mess around a little bit. If it doesn't look right, dig a little deeper. Okay, until you find something that seems to make a little more sense. That should be it for the week for Project 2. Of course, you've got your other assignments, etc. So, thanks. I'll sign off.